Yeah!
Yeah!
Song just hits so different, hits so much harder when it's at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Early day MMA is just the best MMA, especially when we have a pretty damn good fight card. Yes, UFC Saudi Arabia kicking off in around 28 minutes from right now. I believe Bellator Dublin is going on as we speak. It's a great day. It's a great day. I'm in an incredible mood on this Saturday. And I am Mike Heck. Thank you for joining us for the People's Pre-Fight Show. Joining me, as always, the chair-swinging fool himself, the baddest stash in all of MMA, the one and only Casey Leydon. How many chair swings is today again? Oh, jeez. Wow. Shook the whole foundation of your house with that one.
It's early. I wasn't prepared for that.
What is on your shirt, by the way?
This is, you've heard of Andrew WK, correct?
Yeah.
It was a comp he did with this, which I can't figure it out. This band Converge. It's like this kind of a Boston band. This metal band from Boston called Converge, and Andrew WK did a split, and so this is their logo, and this is Andrew WK's logo. So that's what it is.
Very nice.
Rock and roll music.
Very nice. I love it. You know how this is. And if you're new to the show, because it is early day MMA, we're just going to let you dictate the conversation. So drop your questions, your comments in the chat. We will pull them up. We will discuss. Of course, the super chatters get to the velvet rope leaves. As everyone's waiting in line, you get to just cut right through like you're a celebrity. So you can go ahead and use that option as well.
You are a celebrity.
You sure
super
are.
chatters.
You sure are, super chatters. All right. Let's see what people are excited about.
All right. What we got here?
Andy Moreno, you are absolutely right. Saturday morning fight cards are indeed the best. I love this so much. I'm in such a great mood.
Yeah, just
early card, boys. Let's get it. Wishing you all a great weekend. You too, TJ. I hope you have the best weekend of your life, dude.
Yeah.
Best weekend of your life. Converge ripped.
Yeah.
There you go.
I've seen Converge. Okay, I haven't seen Converge in about maybe 4 years, but for a good decade, I saw them at least every year. So I think I've seen them about 10 times, at least 10 to 12 times.
Nice.
So if they're in your area, go see them. They are vets. They've been doing this for a while. Good guys. And the singer he's a Muay Thai practitioner, and he is also a certified judge, MMA judge. Yes.
Oh, nice. We could use more of those. Matt Maggio, the win, who has a better look at a potential title run, Walker or Volkan Ozdemir? Now, obviously, Ozdemir has fought for the belt before. He fought Daniel Cormier in the co-main event of UFC 220, which happened to be in the great city of Boston, Massachusetts. That event actually set up the champion versus champion bout between Stipe Miocic, who beat Francis Ngannou that night, and Daniel Cormier, who beat Volkan Ozdemir that night. And then Daniel Cormier became the champion not that long after that. But Johnny Walker winning fights. Some of them are exciting. Some of them are not very exciting. Volkan Ozdemir is just kind of a tough out for everybody. But to me, Casey, this fight's going to go one of two ways, and Jose sort of hit the nail on the head, in my opinion, yesterday on the preview show. This fight is going to be violent and end very quickly, or we are going to be slogging our way through this one. So how do you think this fight's going to go? And who do you think the UFC is more interested in, giving that rub to, getting him to the belt? Because it's a weird division. Pereira's the champion. Belt's going to be defended a week from right now in a fight that came together pretty quickly. What do you think?
I'm pretty confident the UFC is definitely pushing for Johnny Walker. I think he's a more marketable fighter. Even though they both have kind of pretty decent highlight reels, I think Johnny Walker, just the whole package of his walkout, his celebrations, and the violent nature of some of his victories, Now, of course, like everyone, there's this, there's some stinkers in terms of entertainment, but I can't think of one fighter. Well, maybe one fighter, two fighters, Justin Gaethje and maybe Conor McGregor, who have never had like just boring fights. But yeah, Walker's got some stinkers, but when he's on, man, he is exciting to watch. But and tonight, today, this afternoon, I think Walker should win, but who knows? They're 205ers. I don't know. I don't think it's honestly any way to really to give an honest prediction on this. It's like we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's lined pretty close. Walker's the slight favorite at -130. Comeback on Ozdemir +110. So this could be good. This could be good. It's the main card opener, so hopefully it is good and it sets the tone for the rest of it. But yeah, I think I'm picking Walker as well. And God, I hate to say this, but I kind of feel like it's going to go more towards the latter of being not that thrilling of an affair.
Which isn't bad in the sense for Walker as being a complete fighter, because he can finish fighting the first 15 seconds, or he can win a tepid decision. He covers it all, So yeah, I don't know. All right,
it's probably Walker though. I agree with you. Walker, yeah. I think they would push quicker.
All right, getting a lot of this conversation. What do you think?
Kelvin Gastelum fighting for his job. PFL is hiring. I do 100% think Kelvin Gastelum is fighting for his job. And I don't even know if a win is enough here. I think he's got to go out there and beat the soul out of Daniel Rodriguez in an exciting way. Because I just think it's a dollars and cents thing too. Like Kelvin is a known commodity to fans who have been watching the sport for the last 8 or 9 years or longer. Newer fans have like no idea who Kelvin Gastelum is outside of what's going on with his weight issues this week. And on top of that, dude's fought for a belt. So he's been a veteran. He's been in the UFC for a long time. He was on The Ultimate Fighter. He's probably making, I don't know what he's making, for sure. He's probably making 6 figures for every fight that he has. And he's 2-7 in his last 9 fights. Plus the weight cutting issues. Dana White was basically like, dude, you got to go to welterweight. You could do it. Make it happen. Goes to back to welterweight, fights Sean Brady. That fight was not competitive for even a second. Sean Brady just ragdolled him until he got the mercy finish in round 3. But this whole week, just the way Kelvin's conducted himself, it's just not going over well. He just did not care about the weight cut and all that. And like, you don't want to judge unless you know like all the details, but at least show some contrition, at least. You know what I mean? Like that was the thing that rubbed me the wrong way. It was just like, yeah, I don't care. Didn't seem like he had any struggles up there. Like it didn't seem like he was trying to cut any weight. And then you watch Daniel Rodriguez up there just looking half dead, trying to answer questions from the media. Has to put weight back on just for this fight to happen. It's the whole thing just rubs people the wrong way. I totally understand it. And long story short, I think Kelvin Gastelum is fighting for his job today. I think he not only has to win, but he has to do it in an exciting fashion.
I'm gonna take benefit of doubt and say Kelvin came in with an injury and he was just hiding. Almost maybe say when Nate Diaz fought RDA, he came in way over, and it turned out Nate had an injury or something. I don't know. I'm just shocked that Kelvin did this. I'm gonna go back in time a bit. When Costa came in and changed weight classes like the week of, who was he fighting again? Was
Marvin Vettori.
Marvin Vettori. Was there ever a reason for that, or is it? I can't remember.
I think it was like there was an injury, but Costa basically came out fight week and was like, nah, I'm not cutting weight. We're not doing it at 185. And then it was a whole thing of like, well, maybe they'll do it at 190 or maybe they'll do it at 195. And then Costa was like, nah, we're not even going to do that. And then they turned it into a light heavyweight fight 2 days before it was supposed to happen. That was a weird situation.
Yeah. Well, maybe what I'm trying to say is maybe with an exciting performance, no one's going to care. I don't know, because I don't
Maybe,
think
yeah,
that's.
maybe.
I don't think so, because Kelvin's obviously there's a little more history coming into this versus when Costa came in at 205, which when he makes 185, he's usually he makes it. He doesn't have the same weight drama that Kelvin has, but I don't know. UFC's weird. I don't understand how the UFC hires and fires now, to be honest. You see the roster sometimes like that guy's got 4 losses. He's still here. Okay, so I don't know. But do you think PFL is interested? That's the thing. I'm not 100%.
I think they'd be nuts not to be. They need people bad. They need. I mean, even if it's just to like put over
Or
talent they
Bellator.
believe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I
Yeah.
think they'd be interested in Kelvin. He's a known name, but I mean, he's not like Kelvin's not in title contention anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a super weird situation. The history with the weight cuts. I will say this though: if Daniel Rodriguez goes in there and beats Kelvin Gastelum and then like cuts a good promo after, because I think Daniel is a fighter that people like anyways. He is on a 2-fight skid right now. Hasn't fought since the Ian Gary loss where he got finished pretty quickly. I feel like he's sort of the sympathetic babyface in this fight. And if he goes out there and wins, I think he can gain a lot here. I think he can get a lot of traction in terms of having his following grow. Maybe put it back to where it was before even the Neil Magny loss.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with the D-Rod statement. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the UFC is going to do with Kelvin. I wouldn't be surprised either way, to be honest, how they handle it. I mean, I can see the UFC going, okay, I guess you're 85er next fight, win or lose. So I don't know. All right.
I mean, Kelvin's got the right manager. I'll say that.
Yes.
Simple Humanity. It's early day MMA. Let's go. Yes, Simple Humanity. Completely agree.
Oh, okay, come on.
Great day.
Look at that. Let's go. All caps, 6 O's. Come on, Mike.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
And thank you for the super chat.
Yeah. Hey.
I appreciate you.
Oh, we got some more super chats coming in. Ooh, from our good friend, Akitas Jr.
I figured this was coming. Biggest underdog this card that has a chance. I like Dalby or D-Rod at those odds. I will be picking D-Rod to win this fight. Picking it by decision. He is a plus 164 dog now, so money is coming in on Daniel Rodriguez. Let me see what the other line is. The Dalby fight. I gotta tell you, man, that's a pretty juicy line right there. Renat Fakhretdinov minus 360. The comeback on Nicholas Dalby is plus 285. D-Rod's probably the correct answer. But, man, what is... I'd love to see what Dalby round 3 is. Plus 2,500. Now that speaks to me a little bit, Casey. That speaks to me a little bit because I feel like if this fight does go to round 3, I feel like Dalby is super live to maybe get a finish, especially after we saw Fakhretdinov sort of gas out a little bit in his last fight. So
yeah, Dalby's one of those fighters where when both fighters are at 100%, he's good, but when both fighters are like at 20%, are gassed, cut up, bruised, both fighters, that's where Nicholas Dalby shines. He's just one of those guys that could I don't know. He fights better after both guys have fallen down a mountain, gotten up all right, let's go. Now this is where Dalby shines. But you're right. Yeah, if you want with 25 plus 2,500 for a third round
it's
finish,
plus 2,500 for Dalby round 3.
Yeah,
finish.
Yeah, throw $5 on that.
I think Fakhretdinov's gonna win, but boy,
he's the better fighter. But hey, this is MMA, man. It's it's wild, Yeah. So yeah, I'm a Dalby fan. I love watching him fight, win or lose. So I'm excited for it. What's the close? Yeah, biggest underdog on the card. Oh, okay. Man, no love for Tricoli, huh?
Oh man, that would be insane. That'd be pretty crazy. Let me look at some of the other big dogs. I think Jared Gordon is a live dog at plus 195. Nasrat's looked pretty good, but Gordon's looked pretty good too.
Yeah, Gordon's he's hard out always. Yeah, That kind of surprised me, honestly.
I think that's a good little number right there. A lot of people like Volkov's chances in the co-main event. He's plus 170 right now.
You know what? I did like Volkov's chances, but then I saw a couple of photos of how freaking yoked out Pavlich is right now. Like, good
he
God.
Looks gigantic.
Good God.
Gigantic.
And man, that's such a bad way to judge fights because like we know this is not the sport where you just judge a book by its cover. But dang, Pavlich is scary.
Yeah, he does. Former teammates, they seem to be getting along swimmingly, but I think when that cage door locks, I think they're going to start chucking them. It's going to be fun.
I actually like this fight a lot. It's just a weird, I don't know, for some reason, UFC Saudi Arabia, this isn't the fight for it. I don't know why. It's just, but whatever. It's a good fight. I'm excited. I like Volkov. I like Pavlich. Good fight. All right. Yep. Thank you much.
Thanks, Achilles.
Ooh. Super chat from Chase, $9.99. You are a celebrity.
Chase! Damn, dude. Thoughts on Conor saying Chandler or not? I personally think Mike getting his career wasted is the funniest thing in MMA history. Jed, is that you, Jed? Is that you, Jed? Chase Mashu?
Chase Mashu.
Is that what's going on? It's just a picture of Jed with a fake mustache on. What do you think about this? Conor saying Chandler or not? That was the biggest takeaway of that entire statement for me was I'll be back better. Essentially, I'll be back better than ever, Chandler or not.
To me, all you got to do from almost the UFC's perspective, just do a quick survey on if we put a poll out there. AK's not here, so I don't want to get in his lane. But if fans can have Conor back, do they care if it's Chandler? Yeah, I guess they want it to be, but
I don't know. Probably. I mean, I don't. The opponent doesn't really matter. I think people care for Chandler because they just want to see him. He's waited so long, and most people do feel for Michael Chandler in this situation.
I think it's almost an in joke right now. At this point, it's just like I feel like this is just a giant prank on Chandler at this point. And Conor can just write it out. He's just like, this is hilarious. I don't know.
It's wild, man.
The thing I don't understand about this all is, Chandler, his whole gimmick is catchphrases. And his first big catchphrase when he came to the UFC was, here for a good time, not a long time. Seems like right now he's just here for a long time, not a good time. This is the exact opposite of what Michael Chandler has sold to us, I feel. He's like, I came to the UFC. I'm just going to put exciting fights on. I don't care. Just give me an opponent. I'll knock him out. I'm going to put exciting fights on. Well, bro, you're not doing that right now. I don't know. Or just say it. Or just be up. I like what Conor basically said. Yeah, he wants that red panty night. Then at least Chandler should be upfront about it and say that. It's like, I just want the money. I don't know.
But also, here's the thing, too. And I want to ask you, because you've been around, you've been covering the sport longer than I have. You've been around it a lot longer than I have. Chandler is so pot committed to this fight. He has already put all his chips in the middle at this point, and he only has $5 chip left. And then Conor puts his Rolex in. Chandler can't fold now. He just has to throw the $5 chip in. I've never can you remember another time where a fighter has been in this position before? Because I can't think of one where it's dragged on for this long. I mean, there's Tony and Habib, sure, but that's a whole different thing here. Those guys are fighting for the belt.
Bilal to a lesser extent, but never a fight that's not a title fight. I've never seen this for not a title fight, or not even a fight that's for number one contender.
Yeah, Leon fought Colby though, so at least he did something in between.
The other
and
side
Bilal,
did.
Fought Burns in a fight that made no sense at the time. So, but at least Leon fought, and then we're just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen there. Conor's been out for 3-4 years, almost 4 years now, and we're approaching 3 years for Conor.
3 years. Yeah.
Chandler hasn't fought since November 2022, so we're knocking on the door of 2 years for him. And it's all attached to this one fight. They went through the freaking season of The Ultimate Fighter together. They did that whole thing and coached the show.
The push. Remember the push that we saw 10 zillion times?
The push. All of this. I just don't. I don't remember seeing anything quite like this. Like, not for a belt, not to determine like who the best lightweight in the world is, like Khabib and Tony, like that rivalry. Like, this is just, I don't remember seeing anything quite like this. I don't. Like Stipe and John to a certain extent, but it's not like
It's injuries, like, and stuff.
it's
Things like
weird.
that.
That's just a
Yeah.
weird thing, and it's a fight that nobody really wants to see. People seem to be invested in this one for for whatever reason. This is so strange, man. Like, what does Chandler do? And what other options does he have? Like, you could do the Max fight, but Max and Ilya is probably bigger. Like, if he gets a shot at Ilya Taporia and they could do it maybe at the Sphere or something, that to me is a bigger fight than Max putting the BMF title on the line against Michael Chandler. Still a big fight, but not as big as Ilya, in my opinion. What do you like? What do you do? What do you do? Are you gonna fight Armin Sarukian? Are you gonna fight Mateusz Gamrot? Why would he do that? I would never. Like, it's craziness.
I would. Armin Strickland to me isn't a bad fight because you beat Armin. You know, you hopefully get some kind of promise that you get a title shot for Chandler.
Yeah, but Armin's not going to fight Chandler because he's got a title shot.
That's the issue. That's the issue. But it's the UFC. You know, they can maybe Armin sees that as a stay busy fight too. Who knows? You know, I don't know. But the whole what are you gonna do? Chandler's got to move on. I don't know. Move on.
Yeah. What does he move on to? He is in great favor with the promotion, though.
Yeah, you move on. You win a fight, and you still win your fight. You think you're. I'm actually gonna pull a Dana card here. If you think you're the best in the world, you'll just take this fight and then beat that guy, and you'll get Conor next. You know, I know, of course, you know that's not real. You know, that's not reality. You know, every fight's a risk, but you know, Dana always says, you know, it's like, well, if you think you're the best, just face anyone tomorrow. You know, and just
here's honestly the only fight that I think would make any sense for Michael Chandler to take right now. And I don't even know how realistic this is because this guy is about to get into a fight in a different discipline not long from right now. Michael Chandler needs Nate Diaz to come back to the UFC, and then he fights Nate, and the winner gets Conor. Like, that's literally the only one that I think Chandler, or a title shot, which you cannot give Michael Chandler a title shot. Even in today's UFC, where we've seen such strange things, you cannot give this man a title shot. You just cannot do it. When you have Armin sitting there ready to go in a rematch that's going to do well, especially if it's in Abu Dhabi. It's so weird, man. I cannot I am racking my brain. We have very smart people that watch these shows and that comment on stuff. If you can find a comparable situation to what Michael Chandler is dealing with right now, please throw one out there. We'll discuss because this one's boggling my mind.
Yeah, and the whole sorry, I'm gonna throw this comment from Beavis and Butthead.
So silly, this saying he should move on when he's waited all this time and Conor's likely to be back in a couple months. If Chandler takes the fight, he risks injury and will lose the Conor fight for sure. But how long do you wait is the question.
And Conor doesn't have – if Conor comes to the UFC, goes, no, I don't want to fight Chandler, but I will fight on this date in whatever, blah, blah, October something, whatever. What's the UFC going to do? They go, okay, do you think the UFC is going to force Conor to fight Chandler? I don't think so. They just want Chandler. No. They just want Conor in there. So that's what I'm saying. Like, Chandler has no say in this situation. And this goes back to our previous comment about the whole Chandler or not. You know?
Here's what I would suggest to him. I would suggest you wait. If a fight is not on the books, if you're not fighting Conor McGregor in December, you have to move on. That's it. And I know you've waited this long and it's so close, but just looking at the calendar right now, they're not going to do it at the Sphere. They're not going to do it in Perth. They're not going to do it in London or Manchester. They're not going to do it in Salt Lake City. They're not going to do it in Abu Dhabi. They're not going to do it at MS. Maybe if John Jones and Stipe for some reason falls apart, because that's probably what the main event of MSG is going to be. You're not going to do Conor Chandler underneath that fight. It's not going to happen. It's December. Or you add another event, which they could do theoretically if they wanted to. But if Chandler is not by the time, December, let's just say December 16th. If Michael Chandler's not stepping into the octagon with Conor McGregor by Christmas, he's got to move on. This is it. By the end of the year, That's it. Done and done.
I feel like we've been pushing that date for so long. Now it's still Christmas. Now it was the summer.
This is it, though. This is it, though. This is ridiculous. This is it.
It's way past ridiculous to me. And like so now that this just we're just pranking him. I mean, Connor's just pranking him. You're just pranking him. Yeah.
This is brilliant mind games and shit. Like,
Right.
This is some good stuff. Chandler versus Colby is what I'd want to see. Tell him to go to 170.
If I did, yeah. Well, Chandler
Would
would
you
be
be
fighting at 170 against Connor.
Would that fight interest you?
Yes.
Actually, I think that's actually not a bad idea.
Yes.
Honestly.
And yeah, it would. Yeah, it would. If Colby wins, then Colby. I don't know. It's whatever they can.
Boy, I mean, it's not bad. The build to it's gotta be garbage, though.
Oh God! And Donald Trump cage side going, "I love both you guys. Who's gonna win?"
I don't know who to choose.
Oh, your Trump impression is right on. I don't know who to choose.
Yeah.
We'll workshop that. We'll workshop that off there.
I like them both. They're both great.
There you go.
Yeah, but do you like Colby more than you like Chandler? Wrong. I like them both the same. Oh man.
Good job.
The winner gets to hang out with Trump later. Oh my God, that's so fun. That's so fun.
Okay.
You know what, John? That's not a bad one. That's not a bad pick.
I saw it and I was like, I don't know.
Sensical.
Yeah. All right. Got a super chat here. It's a long one.
Thank you, Tomas. I just needed to say, after a long time watching, those UFC cards just wouldn't be the same without you guys and your weekly pre-post shows and Q&As. Thanks so much to all of you. Thank you. Thank you. Don't thank us. We thank you.
Yeah. If you guys don't show up, don't ask us questions, don't interact. Yeah, this isn't fun. We don't do this. So thank you.
These shows get me through the slog of it all. I gotta tell you.
All right. I do get hyped.
There is no slog.
Yeah, no slog. All right.
In the previous show, Casey asked about Shara Bullet's eye. There is a fighter that is allowed to fight with one hand, but if he lost his hand during the fight would be stopped.
I guess if you
He's
break
talking
his
about
hand, Nick Newell.
Yeah, he's talking about
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he can fight. I mean, he's been fighting, so
Yeah.
And I guess he can see a little bit. I don't know what the actual percentage of it is. I've read a million things about it since, and I still am not 100% clear on the entire situation.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and I'm also a bit confused on. I have a lot of questions about when fighters lose abilities to use a certain part of the body during a fight. Like the hand thing is interesting too. Like say if a fighter breaks his hand badly, he can't grip or can't throw a punch with his right hand. But usually the fight keeps going. They're just deal with it, which is okay. That's a fight, Yeah, I've always kind of wondered that. But when a fighter say they get kicked in the calf and they keep kind of falling down, but they can still play guard. They can still fight from their back, but we usually stop the fight. So I just think I don't say weird, but I'm always interested in how we look at things. Like for some reason you have to be able to stand up, even though you can win a fight on the ground. But I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't think I'm
yeah.
right. Yeah,
no, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I just think it's. I don't really have an answer for it. I think that's more of a ref or commission question, but I don't really 100% know.
Who has a better poker face, really?
Yeah.
Who can deal with it better and hide it?
Yeah. A couple more super chats before we hit the predictions.
Yeah. The card has not started yet.
Okay.
Broadcast is also not started yet.
Oh, never mind.
Just popping in to say you guys are great. Thank you, Mason. Thank you.
Yeah,
You're great.
Good vibes this morning.
We're all great today.
Yeah.
We're all great today.
All right. You got Chase again?
John versus Tom or Connor versus Mike more likely? It's got to be Connor versus Mike.
Yeah,
right?
I'm going to go Connor Mike. A little more likely, but not too much. Not too much. You know what?
I think I think it's a huge jump, honestly, but it's still you can argue that neither are likely, and I'd listen to you and be like, yeah, you know what, you might be right.
You know what's good? One thing about Tom, which is different from the Chandler situation, it seems like Tom has moved on. He's kind of even though if he fights John, yeah, he would get his red panty night. You know, he would probably make, let's just call it, 5 times what he would make fighting Blades or whatever. And Tom could sit and wait, wouldn't you say? Like what if Tom was doing what Chandler was doing, and just say,
It'd be
I'm
terrible,
not fighting. Yeah, it'd be a terrible idea.
It'd be
So
a bad
why?
idea.
So why do we like Chandler doing this? If we like Chandler doing this, I personally don't. But for people that saying Chandler needs to
Well,
wait,
I mean, Tom's basically the champ in waiting right now. Because like all he needs is John to be like, all right, I'm retired, and then he's the actual champion if he beats Curtis Blades. Like he's got a belt, he's making championship money right now. Every championship defense he has, even with the interim, he's getting like world championship money. It's not, you fight for the belt and you make good money fighting for the belt, but you start to make all your money as a competitor once you have that belt. That's when all the money starts to roll in. That's why it's so important to hold on to that belt and continue to defend it, interim or not. That's why when people complain about the interim title fights, yes, some of them don't make sense, but at the same token, fighters are getting more money and they're getting paid more. So for Tom, like I think Tom's handling this great. I didn't think he did it first. I think you kind of got what you needed out of John. You got John to react a little bit, but John's just kind of ignoring your existence at this point. So what Tom needs to do is just ignore John's. He needs to act like his belt is the real belt. He's the actual heavyweight champion, and just ignore John. I think like it speaks loud. Like Jed doesn't agree with me on this, but I've been saying this from Jump Street. The ignoring John Jones is louder than him going on a million interviews and talking shit about John. I'm the champion. This belt ain't interim. The other belt over there, that's the interim. Whoever that guy is that's holding that other title, that's the interim belt. This is the real belt. And you can just rattle off defenses, man. And if John wants to fight you, great. And if not, you're the freaking heavyweight champion of the world.
I 100% agree with that. But Mike Chandler, he could fight anybody right now. He could fight. He's not in title contention, and his fight versus Conor isn't for a title. So it's just for a big paycheck, 10 times bigger than what he would normally make. So Mike's not going to take any risks to fight anyone else. If Tom fighting John, he makes 10 times as much. Isn't that worth the risk of sitting out? I know everyone's gonna hate you for but I'm just playing devil's advocate because I think what Tom's doing is perfect. But
yeah, I know what you're saying. Tom's also young and in like the prime of his life right now. Like he's in the prime of his career. He's the rare young heavyweight, rising heavyweight star that like doesn't exist in this sport. We don't get young rising heavyweight stars that are in their freaking 20s. That are just only going to get better. Chandler is on, like you said, the quote, I'm here for good time, not a long time. Chandler's in the back 9, man. Like he's a freak athlete and he's still very good at fighting and he's fun as hell to watch, but he's on the back 9. He's only, who knows how many fights this man has left. Tom could fight for another decade if he wants to. So that's another thing too. Like you don't want to, people saying like, oh, Chandler's wasting his prime. Chandler's prime is over. Chandler's prime was in Bellator.
Yeah,
this is just like fun fight, make some money time. Tom has forever at this point. So I get what you're saying. But they're just kind of in two different situations. But Tom's got to fight, man, especially after losing a year to that really awful injury in the Blades fight. Got to get in there and do the thing, man.
Yeah, this is true. All right, cool.
Any more? Ignoring John Jones would hurt his feelings so bad. He wants to be called the greatest by everybody. Yes, that's what I'm saying. You just act like he doesn't even exist in this world, and that will get his attention more than you being like, Tom's afraid to fight. John's afraid to fight me.
I gotta say, has Tom has he shared our global rankings yet? Has he like posted that? Because he should just post that every day. Our global rankings.
He should.
Every day. Every day, just post that every morning.
Yeah.
You go on his Instagram grid. It's just the same image. Him number 1
should be his profile picture.
Yeah,
it's 10 stories in a row.
Yeah. And when people ask him John Jones, he's like, who? He's like, oh, John Jones. Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah. If he's fights, yeah, cool. Yeah, sign the contract, yeah. Then just move on to the next question. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah, I agree with you. I I think the chicken thing is fun. No, the whole chicken ain't goats thing is fun by Jed, but I don't think it works
I do
coming
love that.
from. It doesn't work coming from Tom. The fans and
No.
media maybe throw that out there, but for Tom himself, just move on. Yeah, just like John, who? Yeah, he's the past. I'm the now.
Yeah. You let all the people behind you like yell that he's a chicken, and then Tom just stands in front of him like this with his arms crossed. It doesn't say a word. Like just stand there and let everyone say it for you. It's the best.
Yeah.
Very smart.
I like it. All right. Oh.
Do we have anything else? What a mustache. Indeed.
Oh, thank you. All right. La la la. Oh, here we have a question. You got a super chat. Okay, maybe I think you might know more about this one than me.
Alexi, do you guys know if the UFC increased their security for the possible attack from the Wyatt Six? Some are predicting them to interfere in the main event. Oh God. Did you watch did you see the Wyatt Six intro on Raw?
No, I saw like little clips of it, but I didn't like dive into it. I just saw a lot of people talking about it.
So here's I know look, especially as a guy with the photographic eye and the videographic eye, you need to watch this whole thing. It's like 5.5 minutes. You need to watch it.
Right.
It is so well done. It's incredible. It's just like, it's a single shot. It's a one camera shot through the whole thing. They go from like the lights flickering out, and then you just see this like blue light, and it's just one camera that like walks in the back, and they go around to like all these different rooms, and you're seeing all these different faces, and you're seeing all these different moments. It's friggin' cool, man. Like, it is awesome.
That's cool.
It was a holy shit. I was like, wow, this is the coolest intro for a faction that we knew was coming I maybe have ever seen. It was just the way they shot it. WWE, man, is killing it. I love everything they're doing right now. All the production elements are friggin' cool.
I'm very. I quit WWE for a while just because I couldn't take the production. I couldn't take the fast cuts. There was just a lot. I was just like, nope, can't do this. But I will say I've watched I didn't watch this last event, but I'm watching more, and I was like, oh, that's cool. That's a cool shot. Good direction. I like it. So if you can, maybe if you guys have good clips of it online, DM me, send it to me. I want to watch it. So yeah.
Go to WWE's YouTube channel. It's got like 3 million views already. Yeah, it's like a 5-minute thing. It's like the main event ends, the wrestler one goes in the crowd and celebrates, and then it's just like the lights go out, and then they do the single shot, and it's so cool, man. It's really cool.
All right, thank you much, Alexi. Interesting comment here.
Do you guys consider yourself news reporters or infotainers? I don't know.
Definitely. We have to be accountable for what we say, and I'm assuming an infotainer does not have to be held accountable for what they say. So we are not infotainers. If we happen to entertain you, yeah,
great.
Yeah,
I mean, we can have opinions, but we can't like make things up, if that makes sense.
Yeah, we're accountable. We're just accountable. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, perfect example. Last week, heading into UFC Vegas 93, I had some not so kind things to say about Weston Wilson and his prospects of being a UFC featherweight and being a long employed member of the roster. And then he goes out, wins the fight. And what do? I come on the show. I say I was wrong. I even interviewed the man and told him virtual face to face that I'm a dink. I even called myself a dink. I said, My bad, bro.
You did an interview with him?
Wrong.
Did I miss it?
I sure did.
Oh, I must have missed it.
I sure did. It's an audio interview.
Okay.
It's on the latest edition of Heck of a Morning. I just kind of threw it on the end, but and I ripped the Band-Aid right off. I said hello, congratulated him on the win, and then ripped the Band-Aid right off, and we talked it out. We were cool. I explained to him why I felt the way I felt. Mm-hmm. He agreed and then gave his side of the situation, why he understood how I felt. And we were fine. And we talked for like another 20 minutes.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
I've
Yeah.
had moments with Calvin Kattar too. I picked Giga Chikadze to beat Calvin Kattar, and it hurt my soul to do it. And Calvin knew it. Calvin knew it. I knew he was going to come on and talk shit to me because I've known Calvin Kattar forever, even before he's in the UFC. And I just beat him to the punch. I was like, "Yeah, man, picked against you. Sorry." And he was like, "I was going to get you too."
Yeah.
But see, that's the difference. Like, if we say something, we have to hold ourselves accountable for them. And boy, oh boy, I'm wrong about a lot of things. But I will come out and tell you how wrong I am. And that's a lot. That's a lot. It's a freeing feeling when you can do that.
Yeah. I say this all the time on the show. Like I kind of love being wrong, honestly, because that's what's.
Yeah.
I kind of love being that's not if I'm betting money, but that's different. But I love being wrong because that means you learn something. You know, the classic, win or learn. So I like it. I like being wrong.
Yeah, win or learn, win or learn. Do we have anything else, or
one one more super chat.
By the way, there's a Bellator card happening right now, so we have you covered on the MMA Fighting. Go to MMAfighting.com. Great website. Jed's on Bellator duty today, so all your results follow along with Jed. Or you can do what I'm doing. I'll have the UFC on the big screen here. Bellator will just kind of be chilling on the laptop over here. I'll peek in every once in a while. There are a couple Bellator fights that I like, but if you want to follow along with Bellator and just focus solely on the UFC, you're good. The Solraklop from Tijuana. Thank you. Mike, Casey, and all the Team Rocks waiting for the MMA Fighting multiverse crossover. I don't know what that would look like, but I'm open to suggestions.
And thank you from Solraklop.
Solraklop.
So
I love the positivity today. I gotta tell you, this is great. Everyone's in a great mood.
I love it.
It's the best. It's the best.
Yeah. And when I drove through TJ about a year ago, I did notice there were I just passing the streets, I saw 2 or 3 jiu-jitsu gyms and Muay Thai gyms and things like that. So I was like, TJ is definitely a MMA hotbed actually for our friends down south. Cool. Oh, and last question before we go to predictions.
Cool. I'll be going to Mexico in January. Very excited. Any chance Dana used the national TV exposure to announce a Parker Porter return? God, man, that'd be great. That'd be great. We haven't seen Parker Porter fight in a hot minute, man. He was supposed to fight for Gamebred after he got released. He was going to fight Chase Sherman for Gamebred, and then it didn't come together. I think maybe there was an injury or something, but still the hottest free agent in the game. PFL needs to sign him, and they need to sign him to fight Francis Ngannou. That's what they have to do. They're insane if they don't do that.
Yeah, yeah. Don Davis has to protect Henan. Yeah, you can't have Henan versus Parker Porter. You got to build it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Then the big fight you're hanging all your hopes on just goes to shit because you can't throw him in there with Parker. You can't. All right. Maybe we'll save bonuses. We'll just go right to the main card picks since I believe the card is about to begin. No, they're still showing.
Oh,
still doing some stuff. Yeah, we can do bonus predictions. They're still doing. Here's Robert Whittaker's significant strike totals and what they look like. So, who do you got for bonuses tonight, Casey, or today?
I haven't really thought about this yet. Knockout of the night, performance of the night. Going our yoked out friend Sergey Pavlovich. Man, my other performance. Fight of the night, I'm going Nicholas Dalby versus Hinat. How do you say his last name?
Fakhretdinov.
Hinat Fakhretdinov. And my other performance bonus will be going to. I don't know. Not really sold anything else. I think something's just gonna happen. I can just name a name, but yeah, those are my 2 ones I'm locked into.
So I'm gonna predict this is gonna be an all performance card. I'm going to go with Gadjisulov, who's in the second fight of the night. I think he's going to get a quick finish. I will go with Shara Bullet. I will go with Pavlovich, and I will go with Robert Whittaker.
Are you going Char Bullet? Okay. I'm interested if they give, because a lot of times when like he's a massive favorite and a guy, I just wonder, UFC's weird. Sometimes they give awards to guys who are giant favorites. Sometimes they don't. I don't know. Man,
he also took. This is also his fourth different opponent, I think.
Oh, okay, this is true. Yeah,
and took this fight on 3 days' notice.
Have you been happy? Change the subject real quick. Have you been happy with the performance bonuses lately? I feel like the last couple of weeks or month,
Weston Wilson got screwed. Let's be honest. He got screwed last week. He had the quickest finish. He had a triangle armbar, it was only the 12th time that submission has ever happened in the
triangle
UFC.
Triangle arbars are cool.
Ever.
They're cool.
Yeah, it's never happened. Or it does not happen.
Yeah.
12 times ever in 26 years of the UFC that submission has happened, and he didn't get a bonus. God, one thing Weston Wilson told me is that he thought he got the bonus because there is a prominent website. And by the way, this website still, to this moment, has Weston Wilson as a bonus winner to this moment. So he reads online that he won the bonus. He sees it on social media. He clicks on the article, sees his name, calls his manager in a celebratory call. I got the bonus. His manager tells him, no, you didn't get it. And he's like, what? Because you didn't get it. It's so crazy, man. He should have gotten it. He absolutely should have gotten it.
What is the lesson here, though? When you get your news, fighters?
MMAfighting.com. It's a great website.
Great website.
We will give out the fake bonuses.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, bonuses have been kind of weird. Weird. But Dana's here. It's a Saudi thing. Maybe he gives out some extra bonuses. Who knows? Looks like the first fight is about to begin. Road to UFC final. But let's go to our main card predictions. Let's begin with Johnny Walker, Volkan Ozdemir. Walker, the slight favorite, -130. The comeback of Volkan Ozdemir, +110. Odds courtesy of our friends at DraftKings Sportsbook. Casey, who wins the opening main card bout?
I'm going Johnny Walker by not horrible decision. Like, it'll be just a good fight. Not a horrible decision. It'll be just one of those, every round was good and Johnny Walker won. It won't be one of those, we got that Johnny Walker. So I think that's positive. That's thinking positive, right?
I think I'll say Johnny Walker hangs on to defeat Volkan Ozdemir, 29-28 across the board. Shara Bullets, Shara Magomedov, -550. The poor Antonio Tricoli comes back at +410. Shara Bullet, I have second round knockout. I think Tricoli takes a beating in round 1, but toughs it out, and then Shara puts him away in round 2.
Shara is going to hand Tricoli a beating in round 1, but he will make it to round 2, and he would take down the gas Shara, and he will grind out the next 2 rounds and win a 29-28 decision.
Wow. I have to hold on.
That was some Mike Heck inspired storytelling. Hope you know that
was so good. You fired me up. By the way, for those who are so inspired by what Casey just said, Antonio Tricoli by decision +1,000. +1,000. So Casey might have just given you
free money.
A massive pick here. Might have just given you some free months. So go ahead and get after that. But if that happens, Casey, like, you're just done picking fights because you win the game forever. Let's go to the featured bout now, a middleweight bout. Kelvin Gastelum, the favorite, -198. Comeback on Daniel Rodriguez, +164. Casey, who you got here?
D-Rod wins the decision. He just outworks Kelvin.
I'm going with D-Rod as well. I would pick this. If I was going to pick the fight of the night, I probably would pick this one. I just don't know if they would give it to this fight, considering the circumstances, unless they just give D-Rod 100,000, because they're certainly not going to give Gastelum a bonus, I don't think. Co-main event: Sergey Pavlovich, the yoked up past interim title challenger, Sergey Pavlovich, minus 205, the comeback on his former teammate, Alexander Volkov, plus 170. I think these guys are going to start chucking him. And if you start chucking him with Sergey Pavlovich, it's not going to go very well. And I think Pavlovich is going to land a big shot. First round knockout. Story continues.
I am a fan of Volkov. I think he is overall pretty underrated, I think, with MMA fan base. But I am going with Sergey Pavlovich. I think he will get a second round knockout. But it will be a heck of a fun fight till then. They will swing and bang.
We go to the main event. Former middleweight champion of the world, Robert Whittaker, the minus 142 favorite. Money coming in on Ikram Aliskerov again. He comes back at where the odds are when they open, plus 120. This fight's going to be really, really fun, Casey. It's going to be really fun. You got Bobby Knuckles giving Ikram the UFC vet lesson here, or does Ikram just shake everything up at 185?
Ikram will look awesome, but he will win. He will lose a close fought 5-round decision. Now it's gonna be one of those fights. As soon as it ends, we're gonna go, man. If Ikram had a full camp and a full 5-round camp for Whittaker, I would have picked him. But I think Robert Whittaker needs this victory. He can't lose. He wants that title shot again. Just no matter how he gets it. So I'm going Robert Whittaker. I think Robert Whittaker still got it, and Ikram. It's just a little. It's not him. It's just the fight was just too short notice against a very talented fighter like Robert Whittaker. But I think Robert Whittaker will win a close fought 5-round, really good fight.
I do agree that I do agree that we're going to end this night thinking, man, I wish Aliskerov had a full camp for Rob. And it's not like, and again, I say that knowing that Ikram was preparing for a fight. So it's not like he's in bad shape or anything, but it is a whole different ballgame when you go from Antonio Tricoli to Robert Whittaker.
At the Apex.
3 rounds of the world's most famous Apex to 5 rounds in Saudi Arabia.
Outside the world,
against one of the 3 best fighters in your weight class. And maybe one of the 10 best ever in the history of the division. So as I said on the previous show, I think Ikram Aliskerov has a chance to win this fight. But I also think he has 7 minutes to do it. He has 7 minutes to knock out Robert Whittaker. And if this fight goes beyond the halfway point of round 2, I'm not going to say Aliskerov's going to get the doors blown off of him, but Whittaker's going to start, the snowball's going to start rolling downhill for Bobby Knuckles. I think he gets the momentum at the end of round 2, no matter how it is. Could go into round 3 with it all tied up. I think Whittaker wins round 3, starts piecing him up, and then round 4 is when Whittaker gets Aliskerov out of there. TKO, fun fight. Aliskerov doesn't lose a ton in the stock department, but Bobby Knuckles gets a win and puts himself in a good position. Yeah. So,
and credit to the UFC for making this fight happen, and also credit to the UFC for not screwing over Antonio Tricoli too much, because he was also the opponent from he was supposed to fight last week too at the Apex, correct? That was Aliskerov's opponent.
That was Aliskerov's opponent.
Yeah, so credit to UFC for making this happen. I hope both these gentlemen have a little locker room bonus for the incredible hardship that they had to go through. Because remember, these guys are kind of fine-tuning their bodies to be ready to fight last Saturday. That means all the dieting, everything. And all of a sudden, you add a whole nother week of dieting plus a week of travel and just all the headaches that must go with that. Basically 2 weight cuts. Yeah, so these are very, but I think Tricoli. I'm picking Tricoli because I think I'm just pulling for him. But I think Ikram will look good, but yeah, he will take the loss. And like you said, as soon as it ends, we're like, man, they're gonna fight again in a couple years with full camps, proper camps.
Yes. All right, hit the music. First fight's already about 90 seconds in.
Oh, real quick.
We got one more super chat?
Yeah, I just want to throw this up there.
The solar clock. I don't know if you hear my dog literally snoring and dreaming right next to me. Like he's snoring and running in his sleep. It's the best. In Tijuana, we have MMA gyms all over the city. Entrum being the top one. Anytime you guys want to come down, I'll hook you guys up. Let's go. I won't be in TJ, but going to Mexico in January. Going to a wedding. Very pumped. Very pumped for like a vacation.
Where's the wedding? Where? Can you say the city?
Cabo. It's in Cabo.
Oh, Cabo. Okay, yeah.
Never been to Cabo. I'm very excited.
Okay, yeah. I was in Ensenada for a wedding, which is a little south of TJ, so that's why I went through TJ. So, but man, thank you so much. You know what? I do want to train down in TJ. So
you should.
Yeah. Actually, man, I've had some teammates talk about, hey, Casey, I know you can't fight in California because, the regulations, but TJ is right down the road.
Shit. We got some blood here in the Road to UFC fight. These guys are getting after it. Some fireworks early. Zhao and Lee getting after it. This is a fun. These guys it's a bantamweight fight, but it looks like a scrappy flyweight fight. These guys are moving around like some flyweights. This is good stuff. So enjoy, everybody. Early day MMA is just the best MMA. Bellator coverage on MMAfighting.com. You can also watch that on Max. And then ESPN Plus. ABC as well for the main card for this UFC Saudi Arabia card. And then when it's all said and done, we'll be back to talk about it on the post-fight show. I believe New York Rick and Jed will join us for the post-fight show. And it's going to just be a great day. So enjoy, everybody. For Casey, I am Mike Heck. We'll see you later on.
Bye.
Bye.